Hi, I'm Carol Jurgensen Sheets. And hopefully, if you're on my YouTube, you know that I do a radio show, an internet radio show on sexual addiction and partner trauma. And what I know to be true is if you've had this situation in your life, regardless of whether you're the addict or the partner, there may have been some trauma that occurred in your life early on as a child or as a result of the discovery. And so I want to talk to you about 3 things that I want you to do, no matter who you are or what has happened to you. People who deal with addiction, whether you're the recipient, you're the addict, or you've been the collateral damage of the addict, people typically don't talk, and they don't trust, and they don't feel. And those 3 criteria keeps you locked up in secrecy. And it keeps you away from the support. Come on up here, buddy. I'm talking to Boo down here. You guys all know that I have my little dog, Boo, and he's running around like crazy. If you work on talking, trusting, and feeling, you will be by far further ahead than most people, and here's why. Very often when you don't talk about the situation, bad things can happen. You keep isolated, you ruminate your thoughts. So the first thing I want you to do is decide who can I talk to that they're going to understand. They're not going to color my world by hating everybody and everything in it. They're going to stay non-judgmental, and they're going to be able to listen. Now, here's what I would recommend. If you're an addict, I would definitely like you an SA or SAA. And if you don't have that availability in your town, then go to saa-recovery.org and look for telephone meetings, because you need somebody to talk to. And you need an advisor, and that's called a sponsor. Now, if you're a partner, I really want you to go to S-Anon or COSA, because those 2 groups specifically deal with this all the time. They'll give you reading materials, literature that you'll read and you'll go, oh my gosh, they've lived my life. And indeed they have. And you need to talk. You need to find safe people. And it's not always safe to talk to your family, because they may judge. They may judge you. They may judge your spouse. It can be a horrible thing. You've got to be able to evaluate who is safe in your environment. Because let's face it, life has not been safe. Whether you're the partner of an addict or an addict, life has just not been safe. Okay, so I want you to be able to talk. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to work on trusting. And that means you've got to find people that you can trust. Let's face it, if you're a partner, your whole world has been rocked and you don't know what to trust, including yourself. And so I would like for you to identify, what can I trust? I mean, it may be as simple as, I can trust my puppy because he unconditionally loves me. Or it might be, I can trust that the morning's going to come up and I'm going to be able to take that walk outside. It might be, I can trust my higher power, my God, to be there for me. Although I do meet a lot of people that feel like God has failed them. God has failed them because their whole life is in shambles. If you're an addict, I know you don't trust yourself. You have told yourself 1,000 times you were going to stop this behavior and you couldn't. More than likely, you've had people in your own life that you couldn't trust. Either they abused you physically, emotionally, or sexually, or they just haven't been there for you. Dr. Patrick Carnes says abuse is horrible, but neglect is just as bad. And oftentimes when I'm treating people and working with them, I find out that they grew up in childhoods where there was a lot of neglect. And so I don't blame you for not trusting, but there are people you can trust. If you're an addict, you can go to sexhelp.com. You can find a CSAT, somebody who's been trained, or you can go to SASH and find mental health therapists that have been trained. And if you're a partner, I highly recommend an organization that I'm 100% behind, and that's called APSATS, APSATS, because they have clinical certified therapists. We call them partner therapists. And they also have coaching therapists. And these people, I promise you, have done their due diligence to become educated, to do the supervision, and to provide you the care you need. So I would really highly recommend you go to a specialist because you deserve that. Sometimes these people are covered by insurance. I'm covered by insurance. But sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're self-pay. It's worth every penny. Okay, so don't talk. Don't trust. And the last one is don't feel. And you know I'm a big proponent of feeling your feelings and journaling them every day. You know, when you can't talk and you can't trust, you don't want to feel because your reality is it's not validated. And so what do? You shut down your feelings. You stay safe. But shutting down is not what you want to do. You want to be able to feel, you know. And I say there are 5 primary feelings: anger, sadness, loneliness, fear, and happiness. And so every day I would love for you to chart and journal. What is your primary feeling? Who helps you validate your feelings? You know, one of the things that I tell addicts to talk to partners about is using empathy to say, I may not know how you're feeling, but I know I caused these feelings, and I am so sorry. I so want to make this better. I so want to correct or right the wrongs that have been done. And if you're a partner, you may shut down your feelings because you're angry or because you don't want to trust that anything's going to get better. You've been hurt tremendously. And now shutting down seems like the right thing to do. But if you don't get in touch with your feelings, and if you don't allow them to help guide you, you're not going to be the person that you can be. And that's another good reason to use a specialist that gets how devastated you are, how much trauma you're in. And so, whether you're the addict or the partner, I want you to learn how to talk, trust, and feel. Because actually, that's the essence of life. And no matter what has happened to you, there are people you can trust. There are people you can talk to. And you can always be able to identify your feelings. Okay, so here's what I'm asking you to do. Go to a specialist, somebody that you know can really help you, so that you can talk out your feelings, you can talk out your beliefs, you can talk out what's happened to you. You can talk out, if you're an addict, how hard this has been, how much you have hated yourself, how much you have wanted to make your life different. I know I work with addicts every day. I rarely meet an addict who's in my office that doesn't want to change. Because by the time they get in my office, they do want to change. They just don't think it's possible. So go to a specialist, journal your feelings, and allow yourself to trust people that don't hurt you. And that may even just start out with your therapist, your coach. I am so happy you're here, getting the advice that you need, and I'm glad that you trust me. You can hear more about my shows, the experts in the world, by going to sexhelpwithcarolthecoach.com. Go to my website by the same name, sexhelpwithcarolthecoach.com. because I'm here to help you. I know that no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, no matter how badly you've been betrayed, there is always hope, strength, and recovery. But you got to work it, because when you do, it works. We'll talk to you next time. I try to give you formulas that are easy to remember so you can go back to them over and over and over again and make a difference. So, have a great week. We'll talk to you soon and work on those 3 things: talking, trusting, and of course, feeling.